History has been a subject of interest since ancient times. Herodotus is often said to be called the father of history, and Thucydides the greatest of ancient Greek historians. However, history has been recorded even before their time, both in ancient Greece and in the Far East, for example in China. History is extremely important to study because even though the world around us is changing, human nature and its roots always stay the same. Besides that, history is very important for a lot of other disciplines and is essential if you want to pursue a degree in sociology, politics, political and social philosophy, theology, and many more fields of study. But history can show itself to be hard for some students to learn in school. So here are some tips for studying history and getting better grades in history class. Don't learn by heart. One of the largest stereotypes of studying history is that history must be learned by heart. This creates enormous difficulties for most students and great fatigue. History can be understood as one big fairy tale that has really happened. You can piece together the events in your head while understanding them and of course without using your imagination. Use the internet. We live in an era when almost everything can be found on the internet. History is often written on the internet, so you can find piles of books and articles available in digital form, as well as large encyclopedias such as Wikipedia in all the major world languages like English, French, Russian, Spanish, or the Encyclopedia Britannica. Numerous documentaries can help combat the material, if they are well made and of course not boring. Use art. The current tip is for those who are not fans of science such as history but who love art. If you are one of them, the suggestion for you is to read historical novels, watch war and other films, and take a look at historical paintings. That may spark interest in you to start investigating more deeply the historical events described in those pieces of art. Take notes. It's very important to take notes in class, when the professor is teaching. Those notes should later be revised and completed at home. This way, you can avoid learning page by page from a large book almost completely. Make chronological tables. Many teachers require you to know the exact dates and years of the events. In this case, it's best for you to create chronological tables or timelines in which you would write down the most important facts about an event and thus easily link the year with the event. Once learned material needs to be renewed. Even the greatest historians and even your professors need to renew what they teach. So, a well-learned lesson needs to be briefly refreshed from time to time, and that way you will never forget it. Always use historical sources to check the facts. For those planning to study history at a university or college, it is essential that they always rely on historical sources and their interpretations. That way, you avoid any misconceptions or accusations that you made something up. But there are some exceptions and times when you can interpret something your own way. Think with your brain. Being able to act appropriately at any given moment is very important for any kind of testing and learning. This also applies to history. As history is not an exact science, such as physics or mathematics, it is often possible to give your judgment on a problem and even sometimes desirable. Of course, this does not mean inventing something new, and when the professor asks you when the First World War began, you can't give your own opinion and say it began in the year 1289. But if the question is, what is the cause of the American Revolutionary War, it is possible to draw the answer from the question itself. Repetitio est mater studiorum. If none of this works, you can always rely on the repetition of the lessons. but then you need to start studying on time and repeat smaller quantities of material more often so that it stays longer in your memory and that it becomes easier to master. Thank you for watching this video. Write in the comments if you have any advice for studying history. Subscribe for more videos like this one.